What's going on, Jeromes? So for the first time in forever, the Vikings finally have the resources to solve the interior offensive line problem. For the love of everything that's holy, Steve Hutchinson, Randall McDaniel, please, glory, Vikings interior offensive line. We need to get back to having the meats on the interior. And, of course, the Vikings have a ton of cap space, $78 million, and they should be spending in free agency. Of course, Trey Smith is the crown jewel of this free agent class. And I just want one time. So you saw what Kwesi did last offseason, just completely supplementing this defense through free agency. Like Grenard, AVG, was pretty Cashman outside. How about that? It's pretty damn fantastic. Oh, yeah. Also Aaron Jones as well as Sam Darnold. Did pretty damn good. Now, please do that with the offensive line. Just one time. One time, please, because as of right meow, here's how the O-line looks. Darrisaw, O'Neal, bookend tackles. Darrisaw hopefully be ready for the start of the season. Walter Rouse, at minimum, could be a solid swing backup, but there's some talk about him moving inside to guard. You got a couple of players on futures deals. Free agents are in cyan. Futures deals are in lavender. Then for the interior, you got Brandel, Bradbury, Juergens, Ed Ingram. I am willing to say that only Juergens is probably guaranteed to be on the 53. I think everything else could certainly be in flux. I think no stone should be unturned. I think Bradbury might finally be time to move on and save a bunch of cap space. Brandel could be one and done with that 3-year deal. And Ed Ingram heading into year 4. Nothing's guaranteed on his contract. He's got like $4 million base. Don't know. And they also got Henry Bird on a futures deal. Reisner, I don't know. If the price is right, we'll see. But here are the top 10 free agent guards out there for the Vikings. Get 2. Why not? Also, here's what's great as well. The Bears are certainly going to be players in free agency along the interior offensive line. Any player you sign, the Bears do not sign, or the Lions do not retain, which is also great too. So top 10 free agent guards broken down by tiers. So we have the franchise guys, the scheme changers, the vet upgrades, and the one last ride. There you go. So franchise guys, of course, Trey Smith is that dude. He's 6th-round pick out of Tennessee, has been all-world for Kansas City, multiple-time champion, and he's just fantastic. And he is going to be paid the most as well. So the columns, so we got the player, 2024 team, age, height, weight, PFF grade in 2024, as well as PFF's projected average per season, about how much they're going to get paid per year. So we'll see. But Trey Smith certainly could command that $21-22 million per year. Could be the highest paid guard in NFL history. I don't care. Pay it. Like there's times to pinch pennies, but also you don't want to be ridiculous when you do have a surplus. But I think this would be a very solid investment. Not only rebuilding that running game as well as protecting J.J. McCarthy's ass. I think that's very important. Will Fries, so he's 26 years young, 6'6", 305, posted 86.9 PFF grade last year. Unfortunately, a season cut short with a broken leg, but he's going to get paid. For $13-14 million per year, and also you do have Tevin Jenkins as well. So also for position, we posted if a player pretty much plays one spot, OG if they played both sides. Then you look at James Daniels and Patrick McCarry, they're all over the place. But it could be a spot too. So Tevin Jenkins, most of his success has been at right guard, but he has shifted to left guard over the last couple of years. He's going to get paid as well. Nasty. Absolute nasty. So those 3 guys, if you land 1, you're in really good shape. If you somehow manage to get 2, I mean, we're off to the races, baby. But it's probably going to be more one franchise guy, one guy somewhere else if the Vikings do go hard in the paint in free agency. So scheme changers, Becton and Banks, plus size. Like if you get either one of those guys, Becton's not necessarily a plotter. Banks kind of is, but you are certainly going to change things. You're going to run a lot more man gap, a lot more power versus outside zone, which has been the theme for the Vikings since back in the day. But Becton. So Becton is one of those tackle prospects, highly drafted by the Jets, kicked inside at right guard with the Eagles, and has really panned out. Now, part of that is the Eagles' offensive line is really damn good, but part of that is Becton. Even though he's 6'7", he's got huge arms, he's definitely found himself a spot inside. So power running game, right side, strong side. Get after it. Also, Becton and Banks are projected to get slightly less than $10 million. So it could be a little bit more value there. Aaron Banks, a former 2nd-round pick out of Notre Dame, primarily left guard for his time in San Francisco. I mean, hell, just get Becton and Banks for the price of Trey Smith, and then let's just go power everything. See if Matt Burke wants to come out of retirement. Why not? Veteran upgrades. So James Daniels is a player that I've wanted forever, right? Because even though he's 327, he is not a liability in outside zone. He's a physical freak, can play center, can play both the guard spots, and I wanted him coming out of Iowa. I wanted him when he left the Bears, and last year he was with the Steelers really short period of time before he popped his Achilles. Now, that could drive down his price. He could end up signing like a one-year prove-it deal with some incentives, but he's only 27. I think that he'll certainly be good to go. And yes, I just want him a long time. Patrick McCarr is an interesting name. So, had a bit of a down season in terms of the grades and whatnot, but tough as nails, offensive lineman, and I do say offensive lineman because he's played all 5 spots, and just having that versatility and leadership. And a little bit of a chip, certainly wouldn't mind him going from purple to purple. There you go. Then one last ride. So name brands that are going to be at a discount because they just got a little bit left in the tank. Now, this could jive with Kwesi's Moneyball strategy because, I mean, this could be the David Justice of the Oakland A's Moneyball, where you have a veteran player, still got a little something left in a specific role. You're not going to break the bank and just go from there. But Zeitler, Scherf, and Zach Martin, not gonna lie, so say it's some sort of combination, right? Now, Zeitler, Scherf, and Martin only played on the right side, so you do have to factor that in. You're not going to teach an old dog new tricks. So if you get Trey Smith, you're probably not going to pick up one of these veteran right guards. But say you pick up James Daniels, right? Say the Vikings just completely sort of pass on the top tier guys. You get James Daniels and you get Zach Martin. I mean, that's not bad. Also, factor in James Daniels could play center as well. So I'm perfectly fine sampling from the menu here. I mean, this is going to be a really interesting spot because Kwesi's not afraid to make deals. And, of course, everyone wants to be here in Minnesota because of the camaraderie, because of the culture, because of everything. So I think the Vikings, they got the money to spend. They know what the problem is. And, yes, there are some pretty damn solid guards in the draft, except that's a bit of a gamble. Like, do you leave yourself exposed needing to draft interior offensive line and maybe overdrafting where you don't have a ton of picks, or suture things up before you hit the draft so you can draft BPA and go from there? But God, the absolute dream would be, okay, so don't reside Reisner, cut Bradbury, sign Trey Smith, sign Aaron Banks, sign James Daniels. So what would that be? 14. So $34.5 million, completely revamp the interior offensive line. So left to right, it'd be Darisaw, Aaron Banks, thanks, James Daniels, Trey Smith, and Brian O'Neill. Woo, baby. We have the meats. So all 3 of our interior offensive linemen are 320 plus. Let's go. I'm fully in, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Take a look at the top 10 guards in free agency. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.